Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wayne here again. I want to spend some time today talking about my decision. That decision to get the Sony A7R V. It's been a tough few days. I've been looking at specs, looking at options, watching tons of videos, trying to figure out if this thing is the right gear for me. This camera has a lot of features that I'm going to need in the future as I get better in YouTube. Now, I typically like to just spend the money, be done with it, and move on. But prior to doing that, I do a ton of research. The excitement for the FX30 was an inexpensive camera with an audio handle that can do movies. If I decided that I want to go down that route, because as I get more comfortable with video, I'm liking more and more doing this. The editing is getting better. If you've been watching my videos, hopefully you can see the improvements over the last few months. You've seen my videos as I did the test between the Sony and the Nikon, and I love how things look coming straight out of the Nikon. But I also love how the Sony renders images and how simple it is when I'm shooting in Cine EI. It's something different, it's something new, but I've taken a liking to it. But I still kind of miss photographing. Yeah, I can shoot photos with this FX30, no problem, and I've been utilizing the screen for that, but I wish I had a bigger screen. For video, the screen isn't too bad, but one of the things I notice is when you have things plugged in, you tend to have to not be able to flip the screen all the way around, which is one of the reasons why I decided to get the Sony microphone. I picked up this one because Sony has designed this so it works with a multi-interface shoe and you don't have to plug a cable into the side of the camera. Speaking of that, this is taking me deeper into the Sony ecosystem. And the more that I look at what they have, the more I start to like all the things that I'm seeing. I've agonized over what choice I should make. Do I hold on to the Nikon, wait for the Z6 and swap it in for an upgrade? Well, Z6 III or Z8. That was my initial plan when I sold off the first batch of lens and left myself with one, the 24-70. Beautiful lens, I love it, it's great. But I decided that I'm going to get the A7R V and I had to get rid of that. But prior to doing so, I started to look at the weight, because I know when I got the FX3 and those small APS-C lens, it definitely made my bag a whole lot lighter. Going through the list of lenses that I would want to have, I looked at how that would impact my getting the A7R V if I decided that I wanted to keep the FX30 as well. And believe it or not, it came out to only be a couple of ounces more than the Nikon, having two bodies and a couple more lenses. I put together a chart. Yeah, I spent time going through all these things. My wife was like, you should get it. If you know you want it, you've been going through this thing, you should just go ahead and get it. But in my mind, I'm looking at weight, what I can use it for. I wanted to be able to use the lens on both sides. You've probably heard me mention that the A7R V, I look at it as a multi-purpose camera. I can use this crop sensor lens on it. It shoots at 26 megapixel, which I think is a fine amount of megapixels when you're shooting pictures. And since I'm not shooting a ton of photos these days, that'll be perfect. For those times when you want something that you want to get the full 60 megapixels out of it, or 61, I can use one of the full frame lens and be fine with that, because I didn't want to go out and get a whole host of full frame lenses. I was able to play around with the 24-70 GM2. It's a great lens. I love the balance on it, didn't love the price. I also checked out the 24-105 f4 OSS, and I think that'll be a better choice for me for doing video. The decision wasn't an easy one. I've shot Nikon for years. I've loved my Nikon, loved the ergonomics. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Sony's ergonomics are great. It's not as great as the Nikon. It doesn't feel as comfortable as the Nikon, but I can work with it. And the FX30 would be my walk-around camera. When I want to film as I'm going out, I can shoot with it. And the backup camera will be the A7R V. Yes, it's an expensive backup camera, but at the same time, for those moments when I want to shoot and I want to get something high quality, I have it. my last setup before I move, I had 5 Nikon cameras. I tend to hold on to my stuff for a while. The D200, the D300, the D500, the DF, and the Z6. So all of them worked. None of them were in bad condition. I've used them extensively shooting on trips, a few events, weddings, so on. So I've had some experience shooting this stuff. I have my own website, but I've been uploading a lot of things up there lately. And I took a bunch of stuff down just to kind of keep it simple now that I'm traveling. I'm not really looking for work to do that. But yeah, if anybody look at the stuff that's up there and say, hey, can you take something for me? I'm not going to turn it down. Money's money, let's be honest. Okay, so the decision's been made. I found someone to take my Nikon gear off my hand, and that is going to be it for Nikon for now. I guess you can kind of say new year, new camera, well, new camera system. I want to give the Sony thing a shot. I really like the FX3. I did post a video about an issue that I was having with the FX30. I said FX3 before, it's FX30. I'm working through that. I'm recording with it right now. My plan is to switch the audio from the left channel, which is having issues, to just duplicate the right channel. I did check with the camera store up here that I got the A7R5 from, and they said I have to send the camera to Bangkok. It'd take about a month. I'm like, I'm leaving soon, so that's not gonna work for me. Anyhow, I decided, let me show what the workaround is. I've been shooting in 4K 30 this entire time, but I decided I'm gonna use it in 4K 24 because I wanna see how that works. So in the short term, this camera is doing duty as the talking head camera. This is the one that I have here. Hopefully the quality looks good with how I've had this lighting set up. Daylighted from window here, window here, window here. So the quality should look pretty good. I'm hoping to spend some more time shooting with the A7R5, and I will post those pictures to my personal website, but I also will put any video that I've used it for, it's YouTube. You'll definitely see stuff coming about that camera as I get the hang of it, any issues I find, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Look forward for that in the future. I want to say thank you to all of those of you who've been subscribed to my channel, been watching the videos. Thank you. It's been a great year. I haven't made 1,000 subscribers yet, but I hope to do so in the future. There's a lot more people watching the videos and are actually subscribed to the channel. So I'm going to ask you, as you watch the video, please click that like button, click that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel and make it one that's more viable. The more people that are watching the videos, the more excited I get about making new videos. I've enjoyed shooting Nikon for the last 20 years. It's been a fantastic brand to work with, and I really, I'm a bit torn about letting go of the camera. But this decision right now is a decision I had to make for myself based upon my new gig as a travel YouTuber. So as it stands, I hope to see what Nikon brings in the future, and hopefully I'll be finding myself back over there. But for now, I'll be giving Sony a try. This is it for 2022. I'll see you next year.